Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be good luck. The riffs are coming out. The EOs and the riffs, they're fast and furious. We have no chance against the riffs. If you have no idea what I mean, I'm talking about the tariffs, of course. If you want me to talk about anything, just let me know. We'll get started here in a minute or so. Thanks for hanging out on this Friday post Miami stream. I wanted to tell people that I'd be gone, but I can't pre-announce my travel because I don't want to have my life ended randomly by something. You know what I mean? So for personal safety reasons, there may be times where I disappear for a couple days. But I'm here. I'm okay. It's safe. Everything's fine. Friday stream bad luck? I don't know. Can't be worse than Thursday, right? Thursday is pretty awful typically. So it's interesting that it's following me. It's because we're cursed. We are absolutely cursed. All right. I'm back. I'm back. You can tell I've been to Miami because look how tan I am. Miami was good. It was a giant conference for alternatives, which is what crypto would be considered. And lots of people, like 5,000 plus people. It's called iConnections Global Alts if you're curious. There were a lot of conversations that I had with people in TradFi that basically boiled down to, yeah, I'm trading crypto or I own Bitcoin or I own MSTR, but I would never touch that with my company money, or we're not interested, or that's too risky, or that's too volatile. Got a lot of that, got a lot of back and forth on that stuff, and that's about all I can report on that front. But there were a few allocators that were interested in crypto, definitely. So we're getting there. We're getting closer, day by day, month by month, year by year. Price wise, it was a good day. It was a good week to be gone. Not really much happening. So far, we've survived. We survived the carry trade nonsense. That was that August? No, I forget. Everything sort of blended together. We have these like mini panic deaths, in like today it's the riffs. The tariffs are selling us off. Whatever. The other day it was, I can't even remember. 2 days ago, what was it? Oh, the AI, the AI bear market of 2025, which is hilarious because it's like news will find a way if the technicals are ready to go and people are ready to sell, no matter how dumb the news is. Like DeepSeek spent $6 million in that whole model, blah blah blah. That obviously that didn't happen, right? Now they might have done it cheaper and better and more efficient, but did they steal some data? Probably. Did OpenAI steal all of their data? Yeah, they did. Everything in the model is probably stolen at some point, right? Um, but yeah, market sold off on that. Miners sold off on that because of the HPC power stuff. We'll take a look at those. Crypto popped up a little bit yesterday. To me, we're still consolidating at all-time highs. As long as we're above 100, we should be fine. As long as we're above the cloud, we should be fine. We can talk about February seasonality, jobs numbers, macro, PCE, blah 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 blah. All that stuff is there and relevant and somewhat important to some degree. But as long as we hold above the cloud, we should be good. We should be good. And I hope that's not a leaf blower, because if it's a leaf blower at exactly 2 o'clock on Friday, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind, chat. Just reading chat here. So I don't really have anything to say or add beyond what I said Sunday. Honestly, like not much has changed here. I did get asked from people, is this a cross? Is this a TK cross on the cloud? Technically, no, but I would qualify it as a cross. all of this stuff is, probabilities and confidence. Is a obvious TK cross better than whatever this is, this overlapping stuff? Yes, this just means we're literally neutral, flat, sideways. That's obvious. This could be drawn out maybe as a cup and handle. I don't hate it. The measurement's the same. Whether this is or isn't that, it's not bearish yet, in my opinion. So it's a mess. I don't know what this necessarily would be qualified as. Now, there's a universe where this morphs into an inverted Adam and Eve M double top, and that brings us lower. So it's kind of an if this then that. If we are in the cloud at any point, I get bearish. If we get a bearish TK cross, I get bearish. And the downside here is 84. There's a yearly pivot at 80. There's a yearly pivot at 120. I don't know. It's just, we've been ranging. I don't have a feeling on one way thing or the other. I would not be using leverage here at all on anything. We can go at low time frames. We can look on the 4 hour. Is there anything? Not really. ETFs we'll take a look at. Those have been kind of flat. They had a good day yesterday. I don't know. What is this? Does anybody else see anything? I certainly don't. What's up, Jeremy? Yeah, well, stuff on page 68 might have trouble here, right? ETH caught a bid a little bit. ETH BTC caught a bid. We can take a look at that. But broadly, not too much going on. Alts need BTC to be bullish in a range, or bullish in general. Alts need the dollar not to be super strong, which is happening on the back of the riffs. So just a lot of cross currents, a lot of stuff going on right now. Is there anything on 6 hour? It looks like Kraken updated their, that is a leaf blower, by the way. So sorry about that. Nothing I could do. I don't know. Nothing on a 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, 3 day. I don't see anything comfortably to call anything. Just doesn't look like anything here to me at all. And we can look at fractals as well. What do fractals tell us? Those are going to be hard to see on stream. Got a resistance fractal at 107, support fractal at 97.7. Doesn't really tell you anything. So I don't know. I wish there was more to say, but there's really nothing to say on BTC. So if I'm not confident in the analysis, there's just, there's nothing to trade here actively that I see. DCA, I like. Somebody had asked me about DCA, how would I handle that? Let's say you wanted to get the money in throughout the quarter, fine, or next month, whatever it is, 30 days, 60 days. You take your stack and you say maybe 25% of it's going to be a breakout buy above 107, and 25% of it's going to be reserved for breakdown, just sub 90. So 50% of the stack is DCAing every week or whatever you can do. Not investment advice, obviously, but that's one example of how to handle this. Just because, what are you even trading here? I don't even know. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. ETH, I don't care about anything at all except 4K. So it's great that it's popped up. It's great that maybe this was a falling wedge. Sure, whatever. Nothing matters. This is the only thing that matters. There's a bigger ascending triangle thing, maybe. Again, don't care. The level's still the same. 4K, that's the only thing that matters for the rest of the year. And if it doesn't break 4K this year, that's the level for eternity. That matters. That's it. I don't care that ETH is inflationary, whatever, fees. Literally nothing matters until ETH is above 4K. When ETH is above 4K, everything's going to matter a lot more. It's easier for ETH to have positive headlines above 4K. But ETH can have any headline in the world, and if it's not above 4K, nobody cares. Doesn't have momentum. People would rather trade anything else with momentum. So that's just it. Only thing that matters, 4K. Weekly bearish cross. Yeah, the issue with the cloud here on any time frame is this has been extremely choppy. So do you want to see a bearish TK cross if you're bullish? Absolutely not on the weekly. It doesn't look close to me. It just looks, I don't know, it's flat, right? It's flat. So if this can pull up closer to 4, great. One way to trade this would be to either assume the low is in and start to DCA, or start to buy breakout levels on the way up. The last thing you want to be doing, even if this breaks 4K, the last thing you want to be doing is just sitting in this hoping it breaks 4K, because that's what 10 million people have been doing for the past 16 years, okay? They're just sitting in this staking saying, oh man, somebody else is going to buy and push this higher. Somebody else is going to use ETH on chain and push this higher, right? Then I'm going to sell to them in hopes that, you know, whatever, right? Greater fool type stuff. But that's not how this works most of the time. So to me, it's a little crowded. It's a little crowded. Classic settings, TK cross several days ago. I mean, we can look at the 12-hour. I don't know. There's literally nothing for me here other than 4K, other than that pattern. I couldn't care less about the cloud because this has done nothing for several months. And the cloud is really not going to be too helpful. Maybe Bollinger Bands are helpful here. We can pop on Bollinger Bands, see what that says, but I doubt it. Let's take a look. Daily 20. Let's make this yellow. Whatever. When do I care about Bollinger Bands? When they're tight. Are they tight relative to history? Not really. Not really. There's not really a squeeze going on here on the daily, on the weekly. Let me just add this. Boom, boom. On the weekly, no, weekly they're super wide still. It's not really helpful at all. Only thing that really matters is that pattern to me. It's not a call. It's a, I'm watching for this. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, great. But the closer this gets to 4, the better. That's it. Nothing much else to do with the ETH at all. ETH BTC, it's bounced. It's bounced off the diag. I don't even know at this point. Everybody and their mother, including me, has tried to call a bottom at some point here in ETH BTC. I had thought that 033, 032 would be the low. Kept going. So I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. I got nothing. I got nothing. It gets so easy to get complacent on ETH, but all you got to do is dump it. It's so freeing. That's how a lot of people feel. And based on the volume, have we seen capitulation at all? Probably not. Well, at least on Kraken, volumes are still pretty flat. What you want to see is the volume you saw like June 2022 or November 2022. Just a massive volume candle come in there, and everybody needs to throw up their hands collectively to kind of say, all right, this is enough's enough here. But we haven't seen that on Kraken. Not that that's the end all be all because it's only Kraken, but it's one thing to check. On the inverse, when this breaks out, if this breaks out at 4K, you obviously want that to happen on volume. What's up, Golshi? Trump's wallets. Yeah, Trump's wallets are accumulating ETH, but again, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for ETH until it's above 4K. Now you could say, well, if Trump's accumulating, then XYZ steps to the next thing, blah, 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 price is bullish, blah, blah, blah. That's fine to think that way, but ultimately ETH still has to get above 4K. So if Trump's going to keep buying to push it up to 4K, great. If people following Trump are going to push it up to 4K, great. If you're confident that at some point this year ETH is going to break 4K, great. But that's all that matters. And while you're sitting here waiting, not you, dear listener, but the random person, while you're sitting here waiting in ETH, you're getting just destroyed on ETH BTC or sold ETH, right? So there's a lot of opportunity cost being wrong here because ETH is dragging relative to everything else by a lot. So that's why if you've got 10 things that you could trade or sit in, generally you want to wait for the breakout on the relative value before moving. At least that's my personal viewpoint. Ripple. Still looks okay up here. Still looks okay. Is there a trade? I don't know if there's a trade up here. That's the problem. Like, it's bullish, it's trending. Is there a trade? Is this a cup and handle? I would just trade this as a breakout. 333 is a breakout. I don't really see anything. What is this? It's messy chop. Maybe there's some diag you could draw to cheat the breakout a little bit, but what is there here? I don't really see anything personally. XRP BTC, basically the same thing. I don't have any thoughts strongly one way or the other. It's held up better than almost every other alt, like XRP ETH. Imagine what that looks like. It's breaking down a little bit, but almost to, I don't know if that's an actual all-time high soon, but I don't know. XRP has moved up so quickly that it just feels like if you missed it in the pre-consolidation or consolidation phases, even at 260, that breakout, there was a trade to take up here. Again, to me, it's just a breakout trade. If it breaks higher, then maybe that's an entry. But I don't see anything necessarily up here. It's bullish on the daily. It looks okay. But is there anything to do? I don't think so. Not for me. Sol chopping around, same issue. Like, is there a pattern? Is there a trend? Is there something on high time frames? Is there something on low time frames? I don't know. I don't see anything here. Maybe I don't see anything blinders on, I guess. But just chop, tons of chop. Pump.fun has been selling, just shotgunning millions of ETH to Kraken every week. That's not helping price go up. Maybe this is an eventual cup and handle. We could say cup handle. I don't know. That's all I got. Again, it's just a vanilla breakout trade where you're waiting for 265, somewhere in there. Target 330 to 380. That's it. Do I think alt season is possible? Yeah, I mean, theoretically, anything's possible. I saw people talking about dominance today. Doesn't look bearish to me. Now, it does have a bearish TK cross on the 3-day. Has not made a lower low yet. If you're bullish alts, you want dominance to make a lower low. If we look at total 2 divided by, what do we want? Crypto cap. BTC. Yeah. If you look at total 2 divided by BTC, is this bullish yet? No. Has it been correct for 3 years? Yes. Is it probably worth listening to on trend? Probably. So for me, until this is back up here, I just don't care. That's just me. And it should be obvious. Like ETH BTC will break out, and that will help push this up. And if you're like, okay, well, ETH has been dead. What about total 3? Fine. Even total 3, same story, has done nicely recently, but still flat, not really bullish on trend. And if you're thinking, oh man, that's the 3-day, why do I care about the 3-day? Well, because you want an actual signal, okay? Like if you want to sit in random junk, I don't care, but I don't see a signal here on the total 3 until it's back above cloud trending. Don't care. We can look at others too. Others, probably the same story, even messier. Tried to break out a few times, just not there. Not there. So dominance still doesn't look bearish yet to me. Total 2 BTC looks bearish. Total 3 BTC looks bearish. Others BTC looks bearish. That's it. Really not much else to say for alts down the line there. Sol had that brief burst of Trumpy goodness, but 250 would be the level to watch on that one. So alt season would be when everything I just talked about was bullish instead of bearish, and the best time to catch that is on the turn on the cloud. Sol BTC also chopping around, pierced that 0027 level, but you know, like it's basically been flat since December with huge volatility. So maybe you're trading this as a range, which I don't. Maybe you're just sitting in Sol anyway, staking, fine. Kraken has staking again, by the way. I don't know if they have it for Sol or not in the US. I'd have to check that. But it's good news to see that back on Kraken. But what is this, right? There's nothing here. It's gone nowhere. It's gone nowhere. Doge on the daily, nothing, right? Bearish DK cross, price in above the cloud. Is there a chart pattern here? Maybe inverted cup and handle. I don't know. There's just nothing for me here. There's just nothing. I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. No idea. Just chop. Doge BTC maybe trying to bottom there on the 4-hour. Some sort of Adam and Eve. Maybe tradable. I don't know. Daily below the cloud. It's just tough because watching these signals on low time frames, more likely than not, you're going to get bulldozed, and it's just not going to be worth it. So you're better just watching off on the daily high time frames. Pepe low time frame IHS there. You can see too late to act on that. Just a huge puke below the cloud. This did have, okay, so it hit the head and shoulders we'd been drawing for months at this point as far as the target. It was not a falling wedge. It was a falling puke, falling curve, boomerang thing. I don't. It's still not in bullish territory, right? I think our alts ever run. I just talked about that, Chris. You really don't have to like guess. You know, you can just look at total 2 and total 3. That's it. You know, we can pay attention to macro and the Fed and tariffs and everything else and QE versus QT. That's fine. Like we can have a viewpoint on what might happen because of XYZ. We can craft a narrative. Great. But for me, technicals are always most important. And if this is not bullish, then why would I care about alts? There's just no reason. It's literally been correct since 2022. Yes, every day. I know some alt on page 1000 or page 99 or page 566 is up 1,000%. I know that. But in general, alts haven't been the move. Have not been the move. And the reason they have underperformed mainly is because of inflation on the coin side. There's just too many coins. There's too many coins being created. There's no real utility for most of this stuff. And there's no real reason to hold on to any of this stuff. Nobody's using this stuff. Obviously, that's different from chain to chain, but if people had a reason to buy and hold it outside of staking, and some sort of utility element, real world use case, I don't know, anything, right? And you could say, well, what about Bitcoin? Bitcoin, I think, has graduated beyond everything else, and people are using it as a buy and hold, have been for years. So, there's your BTC versus anti BTC talk. There's just too much. There's just too much junk. It's hard to keep it up unless there's momentum. Sui, I didn't talk about this in one of the alt videos, and I got 30 questions about it. Trend-wise, it has crossed bearish. I don't like this again until it's back above the cloud with a bullish TK cross. I'm a simple man, chat. I'm a simple man. I just like trending things. It's also below the channel here. If we look at Palantir as a comparison, even Palantir has made new all-time highs. Palantir had this parabola, broke from that parabola, which is a great stop loss on any parabola, especially one that's lasted over a year. Now, it hit a new all-time high. Great. Who cares? But the point is, if you're down here at 16 and you're looking to preserve something, you're probably watching the parabola, right? And you could say, well, I closed early and, I'm not recapturing this new all-time high. Yeah, but you're protecting yourself. Insurance isn't free, on the cloud. Guess that's just a vanilla Kijun bounce, but we were talking about the channel, right? It had some sort of channel in here, similar to Sui. So yeah, maybe this survives. Maybe it's fine. I don't hate it, but trend-wise, it just depends where you're in. If you're in from sub $1, this is the cloud telling you, okay, now's the time to take some off the table, close the position, whatever. It's not about this might be wrong tomorrow. This is about what is it telling you today? What has it told you every other time you've gotten this signal? What have you done? That's it. Could be right, could be wrong. Cloud doesn't care. Cloud's just telling you momentum clearly rolling over here. So it doesn't look great. And I'm sure it's below any fractal. The last fractal was 436. So it's clearly below that. So it's not a buy here for me until it's trending again. Yeah, Heath, I mean, it helps to have a wide aperture of things that you can trade, because a lot of people in crypto are trying to force trades where, to me, there just aren't any. And instead of doing nothing, they're doing what we're doing now, which is scanning, which is fine. But they settle for suboptimal setups or suboptimal trades, suboptimal ideas, and they get suboptimal returns, right? Like, most of this stuff is very stretched and kind of momentumless, flat. Doesn't mean it can't reignite or reinvigorate. It's just, what do you do here? I don't know. LTC. Let me go to TradingView for this. LTC. Maybe something here. You probably know what I'm going to say. Inverted head and shoulders type stuff here. Maybe. It's a mess. How would, what's his name? JC Peretz. He loves the scoop-de-whoop stuff, but maybe some sort of IHS variant. I don't know. I'm not like strongly convicted there, but from a setup perspective, maybe one of the better charts that has something. I don't know. It's a mess. It's definitely a mess. But again, this goes back to like, are we trying to force a suboptimal idea because we're just looking for stuff to do? Or is it better to just do nothing here? That's up to you. So maybe you size this down. Maybe you just don't do anything at all. I guess it depends if you're bored, right? I like that it's done nothing since November, basically, and it's made some sort of fractal here. LTC, BTC, interesting in that it's been down for 2 years and it's kind of flattening out here. So again, let's pick a level there to there. You know, it kind of has this like V potential. I don't know, right? It's like, do we really want to trade this right now? It's an idea. It's a setup. Maybe the best one we've had this stream. I don't know. Cardano, like Doge, sideways chop. Nothing really going on in the near term there. Just chopping around. Really nothing to say on that one. ADA BTC breaking down a little bit on the cloud there. Tough because a lot of these coins are also getting ETF news, and if you're not in that conversation, then you're getting less attention from a trading perspective, right? So that would be ADA, where I haven't seen any ETF news on ADA personally. Link, Stinky Linky looks okay, better than Doge and ADA. Is there an IHS here? I don't know. You know, maybe there's something here. I don't know. Like we're stretching the rules here. Stretching the rules here for anything. LTC BTC also, or sorry, Link BTC also just flat. Maybe something here. I don't know. It's like, you know, maybe that. I don't know. This is why it's times like this that remind you that when you have all these setups to take, when you have these breakouts to take, when you have these trends to take trades on, like, you do it because it doesn't last all the time. Most of the time, probably you're going to have nothing to do most of the time. Now is one of those times, certainly. Link BTC, it looks okay. It looks okay. It looks okay. Kind of cup and handle vibes a little bit. Looks okay. Aave high time frame kind of consolidating there. Low time frames, again, maybe IHS. All of these to me are just potential breakouts. So anything above an obvious horizontal, in this case, I don't know, 365 or something. Do I want to take that trade? Not really. I don't, but it's an idea, you know? It's like the LTC, it's an idea. It's just, it's a mess. Whiff. Oof. More like oof. Can we change the ticker? Can we sign the petition? Can we change this to oof? So trend-wise, it's bearish. It's very oversold. Is that worth taking a stab here? Not for me. Like, this could bounce. It could also keep going. You could try and be a hero, and you might be correct, and you might watch this 2 days later and comment, "Why were you so bearish on Whiff? That was the bottom." Okay, well, I mean, you don't know, right? I'm not seeing anything in particular here that says this looks great down here. There's a lot of meme coins, and if you're not moving, that hot ball of money, that lukewarm 3-day-old stale can of hot ball of money just rotating around, and doesn't look great. Maybe there's a There's a spinning top there on the 3-day, which would be a neutral signal after all those down candles. But man, that's a mess. That's an avoid for me. We'll speed this up as we go down here. Tau, I guess we were talking about a falling wedge there, but it's done nothing for months now. I don't know. That one's a mess. Nothing there for me. Lido. A lot of people are talking about this one. As ETH does better, ETH ecosystem, ETH beta should do better. There's a daily bullish TK cross there. There is, I guess I can delete all this at this point. There's a potential, similar to ETH, right? A potential IHS here, something like this. It's a mess. Okay, don't at me, bro. I know the volume isn't there. I know, don't at me. But if ETH gets bullish, things like Lido start to wake up. Even Pepe, despite looking how it looks, bounced quite a bit. I don't know. Again, another idea. We are out there looking for stuff. Somebody's asking me about DOT. It's almost better not to know. You know, ignorance is bliss on DOT, because I don't have good news. Coin inflation kills this thing. Similar to AVAX. Coin inflation just kills it. DOT, I think, listed first on Kraken. So it has gone nowhere since 2022. DOT. Nowhere. So I'm not talking to you, Chris, but at some point, you got to say to yourself, maybe this is the wrong move. Maybe this isn't the one. I'm not saying that's now. This isn't investment advice, but there's an opportunity cost sitting in this, right? Because I'm sure .BTC is close to all-time lows, which it is, right? Like, this is what you've lost. You've lost since 2022, 90% value against BTC. So at some point, you just got to call it, you know? You just got to call it. At some point when they're doing CPR on the body in the hospital, they call it. I'm not saying this is dead forever. All this stuff, as long as it's listed, can do something one day. But that is an ugly, ugly channel, ugly cloud on the weekly. Ugly chart. Maybe double bottoms on the BTC pair. I don't know. But, you know, I guess it depends on your entry. Not to be clear, it doesn't look like horrible on the daily. It's just, it's done nothing since 2022. It's done nothing. Yeah. So, you know, if you're okay with that, fine. But if you've been sitting in this for 3 years and then it goes to 20 in this cycle, I wouldn't say, oh man, I can't wait for this to hit 40 and then it goes back to 6 in 2 months, right? Like, you have to be realistic with yourself. If you're not seeing developers or ecosystem or ETF or parachains or whatever it is that DOT is doing, right? Maybe that's a sign. Anything else that is interesting? Just go to the daily and flick through some stuff. Algo, similar to Doge and ADA, nothing going on there. Curve, kind of a falling wedge a little bit. AVAX, just a mess below the cloud. Done nothing since November. Just, there's nothing to do there. INJ for GOSP. Nothing since March. Now, at some point on the way up, I think I said to GOSP that would have been enough for me. Let's say conservatively you got in at like 2. Okay, it went from 2 to 40. At some point, you got to be realistic. Maybe you take out the original amount you invested and you just let it ride. That's fine. But this is still a 2,000% move from 2 in like a year. How much more do you want? You know? How much more do you want? I don't know. Trend-wise, it doesn't look good on the 3-day, below the cloud there, weekly below the cloud, daily, it's a mess below the cloud. Did they delist Rune? Or do I not have it on my list? This chart reminds me of that a little bit. They did not delist it. Yeah, yikes. I'm not saying that INJ is going to fall off a table like this. This had fundamental issues with the borrowing and lending, insolvency, blah, blah, blah. But that's the other thing. There's so many coins. There's so many things to do that it's easy to say, okay, Rune is a hot mess. Yeah, it might be down 70% in like a month, but there's probably a good reason for that. And maybe just sit this one out for a minute, right? Like let whatever's happening resolve. Not saying anyone's asking me about Rune and a buy down here, but yikes. All right, anything else before I go to some other stuff here? Uni, no. Render, no. Jup, just flat. Really nothing there. Tia, we had that grand idea. Was that a new low? Not really, but almost a new low on Tia. Tia's like a, it's like my new Zcash, because everybody and their mother was talking about it in 2024, and then they were kind of ignoring it later in the year, and now we're here, and I feel like people are kind of stuck sitting in this thing. You always want to look for this exact spot right here. That's what I'm always looking for when price just starts to get above the cloud. So yeah, you can buy lows, you can play the range, but man, that's tough. That is tough. SHIB, nothing there. At some point, looks like I tried to draw out an IHS, bonk. All these meme coins just look horrible. Near garbage. Yeah, so not much going on across the board to me. Just still chop, still mostly bearish on alts, especially out of the top 10. The farther you go down the list, the more yikesy it looks. Dog in me. Titan Cloud, if Dog in me is not good, we're going to find out. We're going to find out why you asked me about this. Let's take a look. Now, to be fair, I asked you to ask me, so I shouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, Titan Cloud, come here. We need to talk. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, the chart is very illiquid on Polo. Yeah, I hear you. It looks better than probably most of the stuff we've looked at today. I don't know, man. I ain't got good things to say. But sure, why not, right? To me, it would just be a breakout again. Yeah, don't trade that on Polo. Whatever this, what is this? Some other exchange? I don't even know. MEXC. It's very, very penny stockish. All right, someone's asking me to hype a lot. Let's take a look at that. What's the best exchange for hype? I don't even know. It just got listed, right? It just got birthed. It just got birthed. Is that the right chart? Is that even the same chart? Hold on. Let's just go here. Doesn't look horrible. It's not as bearish as it was back here. I'll give you that. Back here it was bearish. Below the cloud, head and shoulders. Here it is above the cloud. Where does this go? I don't know. Can we even measure this and say, I really don't think it retests all-time highs. I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't look terrible, I'll give you that, but it doesn't really speak to me. It doesn't speak to me. Trader Mike, he's on the monthly with LTC. He doesn't care about the daily or the weekly. Bro, he's on the monthly, okay? He's on the monthly. We looked at LTC, Mike. 10x on INJ. That scares me, Gosp. If you already made 2,000%, do you really need another 10x on the same coin? I don't know. I don't know. Just reading chat here, seeing what I missed. Yeah, I'd be careful about anybody peddling the meme coins. Bunch of legacy tickers people are asking me about. We'll take a look at those. Okay, I guess, yeah, we didn't look at Trump, did we? Minus 6% today, man. He needs to put some riffs out there for the rumper riffs in this chart. You just know there were so many people who lost everything on this. This is a not for me trade. The cloud told you so. The cloud said it was below some low time frame cloud. I mean, it's not like the cloud's gonna lie to you. You need some non-random way to have an edge. If that's a trend thing, a range thing, if that's a buy the listing thing, whatever. But this does not look good for the old rumper. What does look good here is gold, honestly. Where do we want to go? Where do we go? MSTR first, then miners real quick. MSTR. Well, the 4-hour IHS, not really alive here. Doesn't look good. You know, it's below the cloud. It tried to break out, failed. They had that issuance approval where they can print a bunch of stuff now. I don't know. It's kind of a dead idea, but that's what I'd be watching is the 4-hour. I don't really see anything like, what is this, right? It's ugly chop. Ugly chop. So if you're trading MSTU or MSTX or any leverage, you know, you probably want to have some decent idea on MSTR first. And the same goes for BTC versus these look rough. These look rough. It's best to trade MSTR when there's a clear picture on BTC. I think back here we had also thought that maybe MSTR leads BTC a little bit. It tried to, but just didn't continue. So it's really the same with BitX and BITU. These look better than MSTR to me up here. But it's safest to touch these when BTC has a clear picture. You know, if BTC starts to break out, that's to me a much better time to play that stuff. SMLR, same deal as MSTR, bearish on low time frames, bearish on high time frames. Just epic chop, epic. Coin on the daily looks like Doge and ADA, right? Like it's just chop. It's just tons and tons of chop. And it's a lot like the miners in general, where you have this up chop trend, but the easy layup trade was back here in the IHS breakout territory below 100. at this point, I got nothing. I have no idea. I don't see anything here for me. Hood looks much better, but again, what's the trade here? Is the trade buy, sell, or hold? You're probably just holding if you're in this from 40. It doesn't look terrible. Looks fine. But I don't know if I'd want to add up here. Wish I had some better news. Miners real quick. WGMI on the daily. Chop and slop. Garbage uptrend. Kind of ranging. Kind of just not for me. Cores on the daily. Below the cloud. I mean, all these... this is the other thing. You want this stuff to look bad so that you can wait until it looks good. That might seem obvious. But if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Like, why are you forcing trades here? There's tons of other stuff outside of crypto equities to trade, right? But WGMI, not for me here. Cores, also not great. Wolf, ugly. Ugly. If I'm not buying the breakouts or the turn on the trend or Kumo, whatever, I'm looking for a pattern down here, like a bottomy pattern, but no, nothing there. Clean Spark. Good luck. It's been ranging since November. Cloud says no here. Thus far, maybe this is an eventual double bottom, right? But at 14, it's a much better question than it is here. IREN, to me, IREN was setting up for like a multi-shouldered head and shoulder. But at this point down here, I don't have bullish expectations just based on technicals. Don't tell Matt in the Discord I said that. Marathon. Same thing. Just nothing. Chop. It's chop. Look, if you want to sit in something that goes nowhere for 2 years, go for it. But it's not for me. Riot speaks for itself. Trendless chop. Nothing going on there. Bitfarms. Ugly. Cypher. Chopping all over the place. Neutral. BTBT. Ugly. Hut. Ugly. Hive. Ugly. Canaan. Ugly. SDIG. Ugly. Cypher was up on the HPC SoftBank $50 billion investment, but you know, if you have a fundamental view that miners are going to get scooped up or miners are going to find contracts because of power, then yeah, you just sit in that. But the technicals here are not going to help you. They're not saying anything to me. I just read someone was asking about Filecoin. Sorry. Filecoin. 3-day. This is what you're waiting for, Mr. Filecoin. I lost your name already. Martin. Mr. Martin. Anything above 7 and you're probably looking better, but otherwise you're just sitting in chop. Multi-year chop here. Multi-year chop. All right, Mag 7. NVIDIA. Woof. Woof. Head and shoulders, fake out, both directions. Deep seeked. Deep sunk. Not a buy here. The cloud's not going to lie to you. Cloud's not going to lie to you. SMH, probably the same. And not SMG, SMH. Scott's Miracle Grow. I did not know they were public. Interesting. Chart also a mess. SMH, it's mess, right? It's a mess. Nothing going on there. Apple, all over the place. All over the place. Is there a trend here? No. Is there anything here for me? No. Microsoft also doing nothing for over a year. What is there here? Nothing. Meta, new all-time high. Generally up chop. Is there anything here? I don't think so, but This is the type of stuff that I like better. Netflix, just continuous up chop. Amazon, high time frames. I actually like, I like 300 plus end of the year, by the end of the year. Looks really good to me. Looks good on the daily, high time frames. Looks great. Google's another one, has looked good. Certainly looks better than other Mag 7 names. Was consolidating for a bit here. And this is the type of consolidation you want to look for. Something that is going to end in your lifetime, consolidation wise, and isn't just like Riot or Mara, which just sideways for years. That's not what you want to sit in. Tesla. Kind of like the Sui example. Like if you've been long since 225, it's getting close to time to jump out of the water here at 406 based on the cloud. So it doesn't look awful, but it does look a little stretched for time. What are some of these others? Uber, Junk, IGV, just ranging, really nothing there. Now we're speed running the tickers, chat. We are speed running the tickers. Hack, cybersecurity ETF. Doesn't look bad, honestly, on the daily. Looks okay. Looks okay. I was looking at KWeb. I'm probably never going to take this trade again, but here's another example of something that's just chopped since 2022. And before that, it was straight down. Now you've got rifts to deal with. I don't know. I don't know what to do there. As long as Orange Man is in office, anything China is probably just going to be super volatile. Do I ever use weekly or monthly pivots to make a decision? No, I mainly just use the yearly pivots, but you know, I know people that use the monthly and weekly. I just don't, for me personally. Sorry, people are yelling at me for skipping PayPal. PayPal looks fine. You got a bearish TK cross on the daily, but it looks fine otherwise. You know, relative to everything else, like it looks fine. Same thing with Square. Square had this mega, similar to Filecoin and KWeb. Like you want to be on this side of the consolidation. You want to be on the side where things are happening. People are coming to the party. Momentum is regaining strength again. Like, yes, it sold off. Fine. It got back to the neckline. But I would rather have this than anything down here. You know, I don't want to play down here. Sub 50? No. Sub 50 is bad news. But above 80? Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Looks fine. You just got to be patient. This is TradFi. It's not going to move in a day. It's not going to move in a week. It's consolidated for 3 years. You got to give it time to do its thing. Somebody was asking, hold on. Broadcom. Upchop kind of has a Netflix syndrome. Doesn't look terrible. Just you have to, if something has been this volatile for the past 2-3 years, then you just have to be open. You have to open your heart to understanding that it's going to be volatile. But there's clearly a channel here. There's clearly upwards momentum. What if we do this? Can we do this and that? Can we do that? I don't know, right? There's something here. So yeah, it's like at the middle of the channel. Doesn't look terrible. There was a list somebody wanted. Here it is. MSTR, we looked at AVGO. There's that one. Looks fine. No issues there. And then mRNA. That's a yikes. That is quadruple yikes. I would be watching for this to bottom out. into March. You know, if RFK doesn't get approved in his hearing, it's going to be really interesting if all this biotech and pharma stuff bounces. I doubt it would bounce that much, but maybe. I don't know. This one reminds me of Stellantis, which, yeah. This is Chrysler. They have all sorts of issues. They have tons and tons of issues. Terrible news, terrible numbers, terrible sales, lawsuits. It's tried to bottom here in the past couple of months. So I like this. Cloud likes it above like 14. I like an alert at like 1380. It's an idea, right? It's an idea. It's an idea. What else we got? Gold. Gold has done phenomena. It is plus 5% since the TK cross. It's very bullish for BTC that gold is breaking up. That's a new all-time high for gold. That's what we want to see. How does global liquidity look? Global liquidity is ranging. Not really much going on there in the global liquidity front. But it's not dying off. That's good. That's good. How about the dollar? Dollar was up today on the riffs. Yeah. See, we need sub 107 on DXY. In time, we might get there. In time, we might get a head and shoulders type thing. So I think you just need patience on that. Patience on that one. What else we got? TradFi, anything? BBAI. Big Bear. Is this? I don't even know what this is. I mean, it's not awful. Kind of the stuff I like, breakout-ish. I just don't know what it is. Not that that matters. AI. I don't know what this ticker is, but we'll look at it because he gave me a dono. Okay, AG. This, okay. Sure. We'll take a look. Look, he gave me money. We're going to look at it. Okay. We're going to look at it. If you want to give me money, I'll look at it. I'll look at it. Below the cloud, chopping around. I got nothing for you here, unfortunately. If it were, let's take a look at like the 12-hour. Maybe an inverted head and shoulders there, like a triple bottom, like it's trying to bottom, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this was clearly, like, this is why you watch stuff in a downtrend, right? Like, let it die. Don't be a hero. Let the other heroes die. You want to be there when the bodies are cleared, you know? That's when you want to be there. When momentum is back on your side. We did look at coin. I got nothing there. M2 is going up. That's good. How do you interpret charts like Costco? The same way you look at all the others. I just stick to the daily. It's had a series of reconsolidations, which at one point, I think I took a trade on this somewhere in April last year. It looks good. I mean, you're getting a bullish TK cross soon here with price above cloud. It is extremely stretched. The cloud doesn't know that. But let's say your first trade was here, and you closed here, and you reopened here, and you closed here, and you reopened here. And what? Close, reopen, close. Like, it's been a mess on the cloud in the later stages up here, for sure. But you're getting the go signal again. Roblox. Yeah, I said XYZ. Looks fine to me. Just got to be patient. That's all. You know, it's one reason why that chart's a great example of something that you don't just put all your eggs in one basket. You size it appropriately initially, and then maybe you add at certain levels. Maybe you add at 80 after the breakout, but you know, you don't go all in on one idea. Disney looks fine. It looks fine. It looks like Square, right? Where it just made that IHS over multiple years above 116. It's probably go time. Daily's not going to really help you because it's been just chopping around for so long. Roblox. Yeah, look at that. So I sold it somewhere back here, November-ish. I was just sick of the headlines. I talked about it at the time, I'm pretty sure. But the idea was correct. The bias ended up being correct, and it's well within the target range here. So this is the power of technical analysis, right? We had the Heisenberg short report. We had what was it? Was it the FTC? There was some lawsuit or something, right? Didn't matter. Did not matter. I don't know what Wolf Speed is. You got a ticker for me? Talked about Hood. I talked about Square. It looks fine. Like, what is there to do? What is there to say? You just got to be patient. You know, it's not an alt. It's a company. Looks fine. Looks fine. But look how long, even the Roblox trade from idea, we'll conservatively say September. I don't know, but from September to now, like you have to give this stuff time. If it's spent 2 years, 3 years consolidating, give it 6 months to reach the target, right? Just give it time. It looks fine. It's up scratch. NBIS. This is the power company something, right? That is a mess. That is an MESS is what that is. I don't know. That's a mess. I looked up this the other day, yesterday. Remember SMCI? I don't think there's a trade here, to be clear, but interesting diag setting up for something. Maybe set an alert. I'll set an alert right now with you, chat. Here, we'll go 33 for the memes. We'll go 33. Why not? Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know what status of this company is legally with whatever, but interesting potential setup there. I think that's all we got. Coin. Somebody said, what did you say? Coin? Coin MSTR. I'll take a look. What's PTLO? Portillo's. I didn't know they were publicly traded. Did you? Did you, dear listener? Doesn't look terrible. Sure, why not? You know, it might fail at 14. And you might get a, you know, like a head and shoulders thing. But sure, doesn't look too bad. Figs, let's check that one real quick, because I thought of it. Figs almost ready. It's like trying. This is purely technicals. This has nothing to do with fundamentals. I have an alert there at 640. Where was the other one I was looking at? Rivian? Yeah, Rivian kind of similar. Just needs a little push. Just a little push. Just a little push. Bitcoin MSTR. We are speed running. It's just chart after chart after chart. Nothing after nothing after nothing. For some reason I have a pitchfork on this. Looks pretty good still. It's basically ETH BTC, right? Coin has traded a lot more like ETH than BTC has. MSTR is obviously leveraged BTC. Maybe this is bottomy. Just reading this as a pitchfork based on the rules, assuming the midpoint is valid, which it has been, there'd be some expectation that this would swing back towards Coin's favor because it's oversold here. I think that's what you said, right? Bottom with a bull div. Yeah, potentially. I don't think it's technically a bull div. Oh, maybe back in October. Interesting chart, definitely. INJ we looked at, not for me, sorry. It's up 4,000% in a year. Ondo, chop it around. There's gonna be a week where all of this stuff's gonna turn. If BTC breaks up, where from a confidence perspective, I'll have a lot more confidence. BTC, meanwhile, we gotta shut the stream off, guys. It's clearly angry that I streamed today and not yesterday. It's down to 102. Uber we looked at for half a second. Just chop. VST we'll take a look at. Big chop. Big chop. It's kind of got this, you're going to hate me for this. It looks like Sui, right? Where it has like this diagonal upward head and shoulders. I got nothing here. Setup wise, idea wise, it's too choppy. Last one, TLT. TL Tizzle. TL Tizzle. Yikes. You know, maybe it's trying to find a bottom, but it's way too early to call that. This looks much better at 93, 95, 96. At 96, then there's a high confidence play there, but here it's kind of just drifting in no man's land. Peeps want the Discord link. Oh, yeah, I know. Here's the thing, chat. The Discord is fine if it's public. The link is public, but then people send bots and porn, and then I gotta close it down. So that's why it's closed currently. It's just a mess. I don't want to deal with that, you know? So I'll have to figure something out. Double bottom for TLT. I mean, maybe, right? Maybe. But where's your stop loss, right? Is your stop loss at 80? And then what do you do at 80? What if it's not a double bottom, right? That's why I always like this stuff better at the neckline. Last one, turbo, fine. It better be good. This is the last one. People are going to be mad. They're going to be upset if this is not a good chart. My friend, Scratch, come here. Come here. How do I say this? Not a good chart, Scratch. Not a good chart to end the stream on, you know. But that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to end it, and everyone's gonna be sad that this monstrosity is on their screen. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. We will talk again set up Sunday. Hopefully things have turned around and the rifts aren't ravaging markets. That's all I got for this one, guys. Take care.